This is episode 28 of the Remix Your World podcast, and it's Motivational Mixdown Day. Welcome to Remix Your World. I'm Allison Kalagna, global DJ and music producer turned life remixer and personal growth coach. In each episode, we bring you real talk, inspiring stories, and heartfelt conversations of personal transformation to help you uplift and amplify your life. This is the Remix Your World podcast. What's up, world? It's episode 28 of the Remix Your World podcast, and today is Motivational Mixdown Day. Thich Nhat Hanh says, thanks to impermanence, everything is possible. So if there's one lesson that I'm constantly learning to lean into, it would be the lesson of impermanence. It's one of those things that seems so simple and so true, and yet every time I'm faced with change, I can feel myself contract and resist. It's just part of my natural response. We do this out of our old programmings and out of fear. So I want you to think about a change that is really hard for you to lean into right now. What is the underlying fear that arises in you when you think of making this big life change? So it's easy for us to believe that things are solid and secure. We love to tell our stories about safety, but reality is we can't ever really escape change. Everything is changing all the time. Right now it is happening. Your body is changing right now. So think of something, again, that is asking you to surrender to the change. This could be anything from like something really big as to moving to a new location, perhaps starting a new career, maybe letting go of a career that you once had, or letting go of a dream that you once had. Maybe it's an end of a relationship or a change in your physical health. So what area in your life is requesting that change? And is it happening whether you want it to or not? Because a lot of times we can be put in these situations where we're wanting to make these big changes, right? But I find that the lesson of impermanence is really powerful when we're faced with these things that we don't want to change, right? A lot of times there are these big shifts that are just happening and we feel like we're not ready for them, right? But in reality, they're happening regardless. They are happening. Change is happening. So think of this moment or this area in your life, it can be anywhere, that's requesting change, whether you like it or not. Now, can you identify the story that you're running in your head about this change? Oftentimes, these stories start with like the sentence, I can't, I don't know how, I wish I could, or why is this happening to me? If you take a deeper look at these stories, they are putting you in a frequency of victim consciousness, and they're keeping you in a state of disempowerment. So what would it look like if you remixed those why is this happening to me questions into how can I grow from this question? Or what is my life asking that I do differently? These sorts of insightful questions put you in a much higher frequency to first accept the change that is happening and then respond with grace and gratitude instead of a poor me attitude. So in week 4 of my CIJ class, we dive deep into penetrating questions and how we can use them in our daily lives, not only to connect with other people more intently, but the questions offer us wisdom and guidance when change feels so scary. So for my grads out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This was week 4, penetrating questions. So for those of you who aren't in class, I want you to think about a powerful question that you can ask yourself around this big change that may be happening in your life that you want to be happening or not. Think of a question that is going to put you in a much more powerful space. It really could be as simple as, what is my life asking me to do differently? So Have you ever had a chance to witness Buddhist monks make a sand mandala? I had the privilege of seeing this at a Mind Body Expo in Fort Lauderdale years ago. And the amount of time, presence, patience, and mindfulness that goes into each grain of painted sand takes days for them to create, y'all. These sacred visuals are representations of the universe, right? Like the vast universe that exists. But because of the teaching of impermanence, they destroy the mandala once they have finished. They believe that things do not die, but they simply transform. It is an ultimate practice of non-attachment. And so when I got to see this, it was days that they were painting this with sand. And then they literally carried it to the ocean and washed it away in the water. And it was so powerful because it makes you think of all of the hard work that we sometimes put into things. And then when it's time to let them go, we hold on so tightly because of the work we put in, instead of trusting that it just has to transform and evolve into something greater. So if you've never seen that before, I'll put a link in the show notes of a video that you can go and see it. It's pretty mesmerizing and magnificent. I highly recommend it. And if you could do it in person and find someone that does it in person, usually like they'll come to art museums or something, do it. Absolutely do it. So I want you to meditate on this concept this week. Think of the situations in your life that are changing and see if you can find a little more ease into letting go. Knowing that nothing ever dies, things just simply transform. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know how this lands and hit me up at podcast@remixyourworld.com or on IG in a DM. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Have an amazing week. And if you are thinking of joining me on a future CIJ, reach out, let me know, and I'll try and get you scheduled for a conversation to see if you and I are a good fit. I have a Tuesday night class that's going to be starting in the middle of April, and I have some spots left. So let me know, and we can grow. Take care. Have an amazing creative week. Bye.